Hello everyone, welcome to another session with me. This is Sanyukta Saxena. Welcome to this session 6th of Zentangle tile on tile, and today we are going to be doing one more project. So I have a string in front of me. I hope you can see it clearly. So this is again a A5 size paper, and I have drawn a circle which will be a Zandala, and then I have drawn a square tile, and then I have again drawn a bigger Zandala. This is a tile on tile on tile, yes. So today we will be exploring this string, and this circle is just for drawing a tangle which will be reton in this tile, in the innermost tile. And then we have small spaces left in the outer tiles. We shall see what do we want to draw on those tiles. Yeah. So let's get started with today's session. I have my burgundy pen with me, and I'm going to start with a tangle called reton. This is a Zentangle original, and I'm starting with a circle in the center like this. Yes, and then I'm going to add some rice shapes. But before we do that exercise, let us first add a border as we do for all our tile on tile, as we have done for all our sessions. The tiles need to have a thin border depending on their size, and that will help us to kind of distinguish between the overlapping tiles. Yes, I think by now you know that this is a good exercise to do whenever you plan to draw overlapping tiles. So we will be doing one more last session on this series, and that would be colorful tiles. Thank you for all your comments, all your feedback, all your appreciation. I'm really humbled. Thank you. And then let us add a thin border to the outermost Zendala also. It is a bigger tile than the Zendala, just that I want to give you an idea of how do the overlapping tiles, if you use this string, how do they look like? Yes. So strings can be many, overlaps can be in different ways. This series is just to give you an idea which you can explore. Yes. So let's get started with our tangle reton. I'm going to be starting with some seed shapes like these, also called as the rice shapes. If you are not comfortable drawing this tangle straight with your pen, you can always add some markings for your reference, but that's okay even if it is not perfect. Yes, that's the first set of rice shapes that I have drawn. Now we will draw in between, in the in between spaces. So I'm just making a rough pencil line so that my seed shapes are somewhere in the center of these two, and probably one more line something like this so that they are at the same level. You need not do this exercise. You can draw straight. Sorry, yeah, you can draw straight, and that's the way to do it actually. But if you are bit jittery about drawing this tangle freehand, you can do that. You can start like this. Yeah, so somewhere in the center there I'm adding another rice shape. Take your time. Yes, we are done with that. Now let us start connecting. So first what I'm going to do is start from here and connect here. So it's kind of a curvy line. The angles are more because the spaces are small. So adding an aura, connecting it to the bottom of the rice shape that we have drawn in the center in the next level. Yes, the next step is to start from here and go around this rice shape like this. Again, start from here and go around this rice shape like this. Slowly, take your time, no hurry. Make sure the auras are clear. Like this. Again, like this. Take your time, slowly add an aura in the same fashion. Yes, we are done with that. Now the next step would be to connect these here. Yes, so the first one I'm going to connect like this, and the next one basically we will be drawing behind a little here. So this line is going to be connecting here, and the other line is going to come down all the way like this. So connect this line here and the other line, bring it down all the way here. Kind of drawing behind there. First one stops here and the second one comes all the way down. First one stops here and the second one comes all the way down here. So if you want, you can draw it some other way. This is the final shape. This is how the final tangle looks like. But if you are more comfortable drawing it in some other way, it is basically looping. Yes, so you can do that also. So now if you want, you can add one more layer, or you can add some other tangles in between. Let us see what do we want to do. So let's first go with, I'm again going to switch my pen to black now. So in between here, I'm going to go with a simple fragment. So something like Senna, but starting from a dot. Give a slight curve to the lines and add a little weight towards the end of the lines. Yes, you can call it a version of Senna. It's a very simple fragment which is very often used in Zentangle practice. So just drawing lines, kind of curved lines emanating from the center dot, and then just adding some weight, basically drawing a V at the end and filling it in. Take your time. Yes, now the in between spaces you can either do the same exercise, or you can probably add a small fragment like something like this, petal kind of shapes, just giving a slight curve to the lines. Yes, keeping it simple. Yes, so I'll do the same exercise for all of these inner sections. Do it at your own pace. This is again somewhat like a fragment. Take your time. Yeah. So I am done with that exercise. Now I'm going to switch pens and draw, basically ink this aura that I had drawn just for the sake of reference. So I am inking it with my burgundy pen, and I'm going to add a tangle called Muka there, because I think it will look nice. Yes, and then we have the outer aura. Probably again I'm going to add double lines. So if you ask me if I plan my tile as some people do, yes, I have a broad idea because I have to do a video. But no, I don't draw it beforehand because I'm open to changes as I draw. Yes, so that's 2 layers of auras. Now in the first layer, let us add some nice and flowy mukas. Draw the way you want. Muka has so many versions, so you can pick the version that you like. I am adding Muka with flux and filling in the small little spaces with tipple. Like this. Again, one Muka, another Muka. Fill in this place with nice flux. Again, Muka here. Second one. Fill in this space with flux and insert some nice tipples here and there. Some bit of inking is always a good idea. Mukas, flux, they gel very well. They form a very good combination together. Take your time. Tipple comes handy wherever you want to fill in small little spaces, or if you want, you can just add some ink there. Yes? So I am on the last section now, drawing my mukas in the same fashion, adding some flux as fillers in between, adding some tipples. Some bit of ink here and there. Yeah. And the next layer I'm going to go with a simple tangle called Cubine. Yes, so I'm going to make some sections here. You can add any tangle of your choice, any border tangle, shattuck, hybrid, doodah, whatever you feel like. Please go with that. So some bit of drama is always a plus point. So Cubine is a tangle that has some bold inking, and hence I chose this tangle here so that there is some bit of inking on the first tile that we are drawing. So I'm switching pens here. If you want, you can draw everything with black or the burgundy. That's fine. Take your time. Cubine, a very geometrical building or structures inspired tangle. If you talk about Zentamology, architectural, inspired from architecture. One of those tangles which you really can't understand unless you shade. Yes, it really gets that dimension when you shade it. This way you can hardly make out what is the tangle all about. So just do that exercise. So that's our first tile. So that's the only tile that we will be drawing complete. So that's why give it that time and attention. Now giving a soft touch with my black pen to the outline, the string that we drew for the first tile. Don't press it too hard. We are anyways going to emphasize it with our watercolor. Yes, moving on to the next. So I'm first going to ink this section. So this is a square tile which is hidden behind my Zendala. So rest of the sections we don't have much of space to tangle, so take some bold tangles which show clearly. So I'm going to choose a small, again, Wells grid. You can call it a fragment. So this is the Wells grid, and then I'm just going to add simple auras like this. You can also convert it into well. Just in case you are new to these tangles that I'm naming, please refer to my previous videos. I have done videos on most of these Zentangle originals. Even if you find those videos are not very clear, but I think you will be able to learn at least how to draw the tangle. The teaching part would be clear. Yes, so that's a fragment again in the Wells grid. I'm going to do that for all the 3 sections. Take your time. All the 4 sections, I'm sorry. So it's a square tile now, right? You can choose any fragment. It's a triangular space, so anything that you draw inside a triply, you can draw here. So many fragments that we draw inside triply. Choose any of your own choice. And then you can fill up this space nicely. We don't have to tangle much as far as this second square tile is concerned. And this part can be converted into a black pearl. Yes, so I'll do the same for the other 2 sides. Take your time. Do it at your own pace. So I'm on the last one now, the 4th triangle, adding nice curvy auras. And the last one here. Ink the in between just like a pearl. Now if you think some bit of drama is missing, you can always go back and ink one of the auras. Right now I'm not going to do that. I'm just redoing the grid line once where we started from. Yes. So adding a little more prominence to that grid line. And the last one here. Take your time. Yes, so that's about the second tile. I'm again going to add a fine outline to my second tile. Take your time. Enjoy the process. Choose tangles that come to you easily. Relax yourself as you tangle. Yes. Now coming to the next one. So choose any tangle that you feel like. Whole lot of tangles that you can choose from. So just adding a soft border. So I'm going to add a Marasu border here. Yeah, so use your black pen and then add another aura inside. Something like this. And then create these sections just as we do for the tangle Marasu. This is going to add some real drama to the tile. So I'm going to go around and add this second aura. Create these sections which we are going to ink. We can use either burgundy or black. Again, go around, continue dividing it into sections. And then the fourth one here. Yes, done with that exercise. I'm also going to add one more very close aura so that the tangle that I draw inside, even if it has some inking involved, it does not mess up with my Marasu. Yes, now time to ink. So pick up your brown pen and black pen. So you can either ink the whole thing or you can just go with, inking alternate spaces. Let's first add some black. So I'm going to use a bolder nib, probably my 08 to ink. So I've started the inking. I'm leaving a small rectangular highlight in the center. That's one more way you can leave a highlight. Or if you don't want to leave it, you can always do that with your chalk pencil. That's fine if it's easier for you to color the entire thing. So I switched my nib to 08 and now I'm going to go around and do some inking. See the drama that it adds to your tile. Like this. Now the inside space, it's pretty less, so just go with a simple tangle like flux. So I'm going to add some nice and flowy flux here. You can draw it the way you wish. Small little spaces inside, in between. It's a good idea to add some tipple there. I'm changing directions as I draw. Yes, very tiny spaces. Go with some tipple. Ink the rest of the space. You can also add some auras if the places are a little bigger. Something like this. Very tiny spaces. Just add some tipple. Yeah, looks nice in the background. So that's what I'm going to do. So just continue inking. First complete that exercise, or if you want to complete one section the way I did, you can do that if inking becomes monotonous. But ink nicely, don't haste up, don't leave white sections in between. Inking should be proper. It's very much an integral part of your tangling. Your tangle is not complete without inking. And just enjoy the drama that it adds to your tile. Yes. So take your time, take some deep breaths, stretch yourself if you're getting tired or exhausted. Take a break, take a walk, come back, and continue. So I'm completing the second section here. Yes. So we can now again switch to our burgundy and add some nice flux here. Draw it the way you wish to. No hard and fast rules there. I'm just alternating the direction. Nice balloon shapes, nice droplet shapes. Add some tipples here and there. You can also add some auras. Take your time. So PN is a bolder nib, so you need to be a little conscious. Yeah, that's our second section. I will do exactly the same for the other two.